I will. Alright. Hi guys. I just got back from my group speech thing. I missed everything but Greg, wherever he went. And I feel really bad for it. So I hope your guys' speeches went really great, and I hope that you guys brought some great points to the table. As the only Dagorhir Administrator Coordinator position dude going on right now, I don't feel like it's so much of an issue of competition as in what I'm going to be bringing to it compared to do you even think I have the capacity of doing it. So this whole entire time I've been kind of considering, why am I doing the Dagorhir thing? And I've been in for about a year and a half. I've gone to 2 events, several small and minor things. I went to 2 major events, going into national territory. They're not quite there yet. But most of my want to become Dagorhir Administrator is for the love of the game. I absolutely find it to be therapeutic. I don't understand how beating somebody with a stick's therapeutic, but it chills me out. So it's kind of like my work job for UGL compared to HVZ, which is like vacation for a week. So, I don't really know what you guys want to hear from me. So if you guys could ask me questions, that's great. If you want to hear more about a particular topic, I can talk about it. But I think most of this is supposed to be questions. So feel free to ask. Hi, Ani, there we go.
I only heard about DAG very briefly my first semester here, and I haven't heard too much about it since then. I know it's there. What would you intend to do about that as far as advertising and getting new people?
I feel really bad for UGL as a whole because I feel that the Dagorhir community has been very kind of silent amongst, everybody else, not wanting to talk, not wanting to make amends, just keeping to ourselves. I'm very much against that. I'm very much, without you guys, we wouldn't be apart.
Wait, well, I just wanted to know, as a freshman, I don't know, what's the backstory behind what you just said?
To answer your question, I'm going to be making it much more visible because I noticed that as the year went on, last year we were getting more and more secluded in our location. I think the best advertising is actually being out there, showing what we're doing. The late night, for the medieval late night, if anybody went, that was great advertising. I thought it was awesome because, we got involved with another group. And with that other group, we got more people in who we didn't expect any turnout whatsoever, which we were pleasantly surprised. But also, I think that we need to get some flyers out. I think that we actually need to hold some sort of major event on campus compared to, HVZ gets its week, Capture the Flag's done things with RHA, I think, yes. And I think that DAG needs to have something involved in that. So.
I would just like to point out that DAG is actually constitutionally required to have one, at least campus-wide event per year.
Has that happened?
Not this year yet.
I plan on changing that. So, she had her hand up first. Can I go ahead and get her? I don't know what she was after, and then you. Okay.
Oh, I just didn't know, what the whole deal was, between, the two. What I've heard is, fits and scrapes of, 2 organizations not
Okay. I feel really bad, and I'm glad that half the party isn't here because then I'd feel kind of like I have to answer both sides. So, my biggest thing that I've heard is it's been a lot of tramping on other people's toes. Between one group holding a practice on top of another group's HVZ event, one group holding a training mission on top of a DAG practice that was supposed to be big. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I wasn't here when all of this bad blood started, but that is the number one thing that I want to get through and through with, because you can't function as a group with one group having, discrepancies with the other. One bad blood causes an entire group to break down. I don't want DAG to become a different group than UGL. It's an urban game. It's very much out there playing, doing what HVZ does with Nerf guns. except we build ours with foam and PVC. Lemmy has, I think you had experience with the whole negativity from the start. I don't know. That's what I heard. Okay. So, to be honest with you guys, I'm not entirely sure how it happened, but however it happened, I plan to fix it. So, okay. Lisa.
Okay, I was actually discussing this last night, kind of pre-election. We just talk about everything before we go to this thing. One of my, okay, starting somewhere else. When this first got introduced to UGL, I remember us talking about a boffer league, which was a little less strict, a little more new person friendly. And since it became Dagorhir, it's always been kind of, you know, here's our little group. We don't really let you in unless you want to come to every practice, unless you already have your own weapon. I was wondering what kind of changes you'd like to. I hope that no one else asked this while I was in the bathroom for 2 seconds.
Oh, no, you were
Is that
fine.
a question? Okay, good.
I remember actually talking to Sabo in the back. We had a long internet conversation about this whole deal, and something that I really, really agree with is that it is very group-centric. If you aren't a part of that small group, it seems like you're isolated, not wanted around, deal with it. Well, one of the easiest ways to change that is people don't have time to make their own weapons. I've had trouble making my own weapons when I need them. So one of the first orders of business is I would like to, whoever wins the coordinator position, I would like to acquire some funding for the purpose of making community weapons. With those community weapons, we'll make them mass amounts, like more than they've had in recent times. With those community weapons, after a set amount of like, you know, okay, you're starting to come to practice and we're wanting you to get your own stuff, but you don't have the time, how about you buy it off of us for $5? How about you take a little bit of the load off of that, we'll refund that money back into making the replacements. Because a DAG weapon, you know, a basic DAG blue takes about, what, $5 to make if you're doing it, you know, semi-decently. You know, a shield costs a little more, but that's a little bit more time, work, effort. And if somebody wants that, we're much more willing to help. I want my mod staff, when I eventually pick somebody's, depending on how many people want to do it, I want to be able to have more community build days, because the best way to have weapons is to get to build them. And without somebody's help building them, DAG weapons tend to fail. So that's one of my major points, is I want to make it much more open to everybody by saying, hey, you don't have your own stuff? Fine. Either come buy it off of us or we'll help you make it. Not promise you that we're going to help you make it and then never fulfill. So.
Just from like not my personal experience, but I've had friends that like have tried to go play, and like they've played and just like the current players have been so rough. They're like, oh, we never want to go back. What are you going to do to change that mindset?
That one's kind of a harder question, because Dagorhir and Boffer League at any point is a lot more of a contact sport than, let's say, HVZ. You know, in HVZ, I'm going to shoot you with a Nerf dot, or I might shoot you with a blowgun shot, which will hurt. You know, you might get tagged, fall over, roll over. You might get hurt. But with a Dagorhir weapon, you are swinging something, for one, made out of PVC and foam if you're doing basics, or can be made anything out of guard pull, something like that, at somebody at an excessive force. It's not a little light tap, because then it would never go anywhere. You have to be into it. So the roughness of it is inherent by nature. Yeah?
Like, to add on to that, like, but as a new player, like, I wouldn't want somebody to be rough on me, because if they're rough from the get-go, I'm like, oh, I'm not interested in this.
That,
The newer players, I feel like you should be a little more gentler with.
Yeah.
Get them who wants to play.
I've noticed that too. What? Yeah, that's something that's kind of an honor system. You can't really say, I can say, hey, this person's new, treat them well. That's not something I'm going to be able to control. You know, if I walk up to somebody and they're fighting with me, they start getting rough, I'll start getting rough. It goes back and forth. So if a new person comes in and they're meekly swinging a little sword and trying to hit somebody with it, obviously the play back and forth is going to be a lot lighter. But if somebody like, we had a kid come out one time who picked the thing up and started wielding it like a baseball bat and started smashing people left and right. Obviously, if they're doing that, that gives us a little bit more of a grounds to, you know, be rough. It's more of a person-to-person basis. If someone believes that they are being too rough as a general whole, it's kind of one of those things. Say, hey, you know, you're beating the crap out of me here. Slow down.